everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Larissa. Thank you so much for watching. Today's a New Year's Eve makeup tutorial. I'm really excited to be filming this because I do have a giveaway at the end of this video, and watch all the way through because I really think you guys are going to enjoy this tutorial. I've got a half cut crease with a lot of pearlescent shimmers and glitters, a metallic red lip, and of course a classic wing liner and a smoked out under eye. I hope you enjoy. So I'm going to start off with doing my eyes first. We are going to be working with some pigments, so I don't want the pigments to mess up my base at all. So we'll do that and then foundation and all of that. I am going to actually start off with my brows first. That way I can really put them on, carve them out how I want to with concealer, and then we can go in with the eyes from there. I've done my brows, I've primed my lids, and I use the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer to prime them, and then the Maybelline Fit Me powder to set them. Now I'm going to go in with this Buxom customized palette that I've made. The name on this light brown shadow is called Invite Only. It's just like the perfect like neutral light brown. It's not too warm, it's not too cool, and it's such a light brown shade that it doesn't go too crazy on me and look too dark. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply that as my transition all over the lid. I'm going to zoom you guys in a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to take my Morphe M441 and I'm just going to apply that all over the crease and above the crease as well. You guys know what I typically like to do is that I kind of like to go above my natural crease. It just kind of makes your eyes look a little bit bigger. So I'm going way above to have that nice blown out transition. And you're almost going up to the brow. You're leaving this space kind of underneath the brow so that we can highlight it. I haven't intentionally put any on the lid because we are going to carve it out, but if some does get on the lid, that is totally fine. Alright, now that we've got that base, I'm now going to go in with this. This is the Dior Holiday Couture collection, and I got it for Christmas, so I wanted to try it out. It's cool. It's got this nice little zipper, and it's got some really beautiful eyeshadow and lip colors in it, and it's got a nice sturdy looking mirror. It's great for travel because it is a zip. We've got 3 lip products here, and then the rest are eyeshadows, 2 mattes, 1 satin, and 3 shimmers. I want to deepen it up with this dark brown. I know this palette's pretty expensive, and it's also a holiday collection, so I'm not sure if you can still get your hands on it, but if so, I will link it in the description box below. But you know, you could pretty much use any darker brown shadow that you have on hand from any palette and place that. I'm using an M433 brush from Morphe, and it doesn't have this red color on it. Just I've used the red color so much that it has stained my brush. Instead of blowing it out, I'm going to keep it a little bit further in. And we're going to be using some shimmery shadows, some like nice silver colors. So I wanted to do something more along the cool tone. This shadow is actually very pigmented. Really didn't know what to expect. I've never tried any Dior products. I know that the Dior foundations are supposed to be really good. Nobody ever really talks about the Dior eyeshadows that much, so I wasn't really sure what to expect, but this is blending out really nicely. I'm going to grab my transition brush again just to buff out these harsh edges. On the outer corner, I like to kind of stamp it on, and stamping it on helps to kind of maintain the pigment, whereas if you were just blending, a lot of times that pigment can be lost in the blending process. From the Morphe 3502 palette, I'm going to take this color right here, which is the shade Toast. I just want to deepen that up a little bit more. I like to add like different colors, not just like one straight transition, one straight crease color. Like I like to add dimension by adding additional colors. That way it's not just one color, it looks more multi-dimensional. So I've got both eyes even with those browns. I'm now going to take any black shadow. I'm using this one from my customized Buxom palette, but you can use any black shadow you have on hand. And I'm just going to deepen up the very outer corners. And whatever I have left on my brush, I just kind of sweep it into our fake crease. up here. Whatever's left over, you don't want to add any additional black because then things might get a little bit more muddy. And as you can see, it just adds a little bit more smoke on the outer corner. So then I'll grab that same M433 and just kind of buff out any harsh edges. Right now you can see it's kind of messy on the bottom. What I'm going to be doing, since I don't have any base on, is I'm just going to do everything on my eyes and then I'll go in with a wipe and kind of clean things up after the fact. This is just a Sephora concealer brush. Alright, I'm using my Tarte Shape Tape concealer and this is where we're going to be cutting out the crease. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just grab the smallest amount right on the tip. I'm going to start off on the inner section here. I'm going to start in my crease, see where that is, and then I'll build it up into my fake crease. And we're doing a half cut crease, so we're not going all the way. That's why we deepened up the outer corner, did all that smokiness. So here is where I would normally like set my concealer. Today I'm going to be using a pigment. So since this is obviously a wet concealer, I'm going to apply pigment right on top. That way it sticks to it. And I'm going to use this little holiday collection that I got for Christmas. It's got all of these little MAC pigments. It's got like a gold one, English Gilt, like a taupey looking shimmer, and then this one, which is the one we're going to use, is vanilla. So it's just a nice white pearl pigment. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab that same brush we used with the concealer, kind of wipe off any of the extra concealer we have. Then you're going to use any setting mist that you have on hand. So I'm going to use the Morphe setting mist. Just kind of spray that down a little bit so that we can get something for the pigment to stick onto. I took the sifter out because it's just really annoying and gets in the way. So I'm just going to grab pigment right on the brush. Then we're going to place it right on top of where the concealer is. If you leave a little bit at the very top blank, that's fine because we're going to go over it in a second with some shimmery glitter. Okay, now you don't want to leave it with like this harsh line right here. You want to sweep the matte into the shimmer and not the shimmer into the matte. Now we're going to go in with the glitter. This is the Glitter and Glow from Stila, the liquid eyeshadow, and this is the color Diamond Dust. And I want to be very precise with this application, so I'm going to grab a very, very tiny little slanted brush, Sigma Winged Liner EO6. I'm going to grab some of that Diamond Dust, and this is where you want to be very like steady-handed, very careful. The edge of where we created that cut is where we're going to place this glitter. And you just want to grab the smallest amount of glitter and just go little by little. I'm going to be using the M Cosmetics Illustrative Eyeliner, and it is a felt tip eyeliner. It's similar to the one that I usually use, the NYX Epic Ink. Alright, now I'm going to apply some false lashes, and I'm reusing these House of Lashes Iconics. I'm using this Duo Brush On Adhesive in dark. Alright, so I've got both lashes on. I'm going to go over with that same felt tip liner over that lash band. I went ahead and primed my skin with my normal Ultra Repair Cream from First Aid Beauty. Today I'm going to be using a new foundation. It's not new, but it's new to me. I've never tried it before, and I picked it up from the drugstore. It's the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation, and I have it in the shade Nude Ivory. Is twist off or does this pop up? Ah, what the? I don't think that's how it's supposed to be. Maybe it's a twisty thing? That is so strange. It's just like a spoon. It's very unsanitary too. Let me grab some of it on my Real Techniques Blend Blur brush. Smells like paint. And this literally smells like the paint you put on your walls. Like, it's kind of scary. And I have pretty sensitive skin. I like more of like a dewy complexioned foundation, and then you can kind of mattify it a little bit more with powder and you can control the matte. But here it's just matte, and then I'm going to go over it with powder and it's going to be even more matte. Not really my thing, a matte foundation, but overall the coverage of it is pretty nice. I mean, it's like a medium coverage. Seems to be hiding my redness pretty well. The Photo Focus foundation is pretty nice. I definitely would use it again. I hate the applicator on it. I think it's very strange how it's just like a spoon. It's very unsanitary, but overall I think the foundation is nice, and you're only paying $5.99 for it. As long as it doesn't break me out, I'll let you guys know in the description down below. I'm gonna go ahead and use my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer to conceal and highlight under the eyes. Highlight underneath where I'm going to contour. This is a Real Technique sponge. What I do is I don't use it dry, so I just kind of like leave it under the faucet in the sink, let it kind of absorb all that water, and then you just want to wring out all the water you can, because it really helps to pick up excess product and make everything look very airbrushed. I'm going to use my Fit Me powder from Maybelline, the loose powder. And the shade I use is Fair, and I'm just going to set everywhere I highlighted. And I can go right underneath that wing just to make it even more crisp and defined. Under here, I kind of left some of the powder there because we are going to just let that bake a little bit so that we can highlight under there and really create a nice crisp contour. I'm using a big Morphe fluffy brush from one of the brush collections. This has just been my go-to powder brush recently because it's so fluffy and big. It gets the job done so quickly. Alright, now that we're set, we're going to contour up a little bit. So I'm using the NARS Laguna. I'm going to contour my nose up a little bit, and I'm going to use this Luxie 207 medium angled shading brush. I'm going to use this new brush that I just got from my Ipsy Glam bag. This is the Sliss Glam L36 brush. So I'm going to use this to contour. And I also go kind of right up until that tail of my wing. Bronzer I'm going to use is the Butter Bronzer from Physicians Formula. And then I'll blend a little bit of bronzer down the part of my neck that you can see. So I'm going to take my Morphe 9N palette, another Luxie 504 large angled brush, and I think I'm just going to mix these three shades right here. I'm going to use another Luxie brush. This is the 514 blush brush. I'm just going to dust off some of that bake. And I'm using two new highlighters. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Powder. The shade is Precious Petals. This is the Revolution Vivid Baked Highlighter in the shade Radiant Lights. Kind of a little bit of a pink frost. So these are going to go great together. To apply my highlight, I'm using the Morphe M501. Because it is so like peachy, it is leaving a little bit of like a ring of peach. So I would definitely probably, because this is a little bit darker, use this as a blush topper. Now I'm going to grab my highlight brush and spritz it with a little bit of Morphe setting spray and grab this Revolution Baked highlighter. We're going to even out the highlight on the nose. I'm going to do a little bit right here. Gives your nose a little bit of a nose job. Morphe E18, spritz that down. Apply that to the inner corner. Before I go in with the lower lash line, I am going to spritz my face down with that Morphe Setting Mist. The setting spray really helps it to melt into the skin. Okay, I'm gonna now move on to the under eyes. First thing I'm starting off with is the Faux Blacks eyeliner from NYX, and it's in the shade Black Olive. It's not fully black, it's like a green black. I'm gonna apply it right into my waterline. And I'm gonna bring it down onto the lower lash line slightly. I'm gonna use a Sigma E30 pencil brush and any black shadow you have. Very small amount, you just wanna tap off any of the extra. We're literally just kind of stamping and setting that cream product with a powder. Grab that same toast shade, this one right here, and I'm gonna start buffing that black out with the brown. Now that we set that liner and it's now a powder, it's going to be a lot easier to blend out and not look as harsh. Dust off that brush, and then we're going to go in with that Buxom light brown shade and we'll buff out the edges of that darker brown. I'm going to add a little bit more glitter on the very lower lash line area. You could totally stop here and leave it like this. It's very sultry and dark and dramatic on that lower lash, but because we do have this pop of glitter here in the crease, I do want to kind of tie it in with a little bit of glitter in that lower lash line area. You can never have too much glitter, right? So grab that diamond dust and that same little eyeliner brush that we used from Sigma. For mascara, I'm going to use the Better Than Sex mascara from Too Faced. Alright, for lips, I'm going to use the Stila Stay All Day liquid lipstick in the color Beso. Before that's fully dried, I'm going to go in with the Jordana Black Pearl Metallic Matte Lip Color in the shade Riveting Red. So this is the final look. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please do not forget to give it a thumbs up so I know to film more videos like this. And also, if you're not subscribed to my channel yet, please do so because I post every single week. I do tutorials, reviews, first impressions. I post on a weekly basis, and I also have an Instagram where I post weekly on that as well. So if you need some beauty inspiration, definitely come check out my Instagram channel. All of my social handles will be listed down below in the description box, as well as all the products mentioned and used in this tutorial. We're gonna do 2 giveaways, not 1 but 2. First giveaway is going to be this Au Naturel palette from Wet n Wild. Really, really beautiful. Obviously, it's never been opened. It's brand new, and it's really nice because on the back it shows you kind of how to apply the shadows. It has them, all the shadows here are numbered, and then it shows you based on what number where each shadow can be placed. So I think that's really cool, especially for beginners or just in general. It's got a lot of nice warm tone shades, but then these cool tone shades as well. This is the Bare Necessities. So I'm giving that away to one lucky winner. I'm also giving this NYX Berlin Lip Eye Face Collection away. 4 pans of eyeshadows here, 2 mattes and 2 shimmers, and then we've got a highlight and a blush. And then this lip product is the Berlin shade. It's the matte lip cream from NYX. These are going to be given away at random to whoever wins, the 2 people that win, and I'm going to be figuring out who wins by doing a random draw. And here are the rules for the giveaway. 1, you need to be subscribed to this YouTube channel. 2, you need to write down below what your New Year's resolution is. Also, don't forget to list your Instagram handle. Follow me on my Instagram and I will reach out to you in your DMs and let you know if you won the giveaway. New Year's Day is when I'm gonna find out who the winner is, and I will let you guys know. I think that's pretty much it. I'm all talked out. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Yeah, I will see you guys in the next one.